and study them in the night of the exam. Yes? Because I want you study them gradually, and if you have any question, ask me when I am here, that I explain for you. In the Wednesday, we have a quiz. There are maybe 10 questions. The questions are short answer, just 1 or 2 words. For example, about the osteon. Yes, osteon. I explain the concentric lamella plus the central canal named as osteon. You should write the osteon. Yes. The quiz mark is an extra mark for your final exam. Yes, it is for the helping to you for your final exam. Please study tonight and the other days and night, and ask me if you have any question. And this is the picture for the osteons or compact bone, that you can see different layers of them. The bone is one of the tissue that in the adult person and also in the adult person renew itself. Yes, gradually our bones renew itself by the accompanying of the osteoclast, osteoblast. Synthesis the bone, removing of the bone. Yes, the osteoclast remove the old bone. Yes, digest them and remove them, and in the other hand, the osteoblast produce new bone, new cells, new bones, and gradually all of the bones renew in our life. That also some factors as diet, as exercise can help to this renewing. Human bones grow until around between the 20 to 25 age. That two processes as ossification and osteogenesis done in the human. Osteogenesis means the generation of the bone in the embryo. How the bones developed and grow in the embryo. In 2 ways they form. By the intramembranous osteogenesis, that the mesenchyme cells give rise to the osteoblast, and endochondral osteogenesis, that the chondroblast differentiate to the osteoblast. In the first way, intermembranous ossification. Mesenchyme cells in the embryo as gray color cells that you can see here. Lost their process, lost their cytoplasmic process, and transferred to some round cells and aggregated together and form a group of the cells. This group of the cells transdifferentiated to the osteoblast. Osteoblasts are cuboidal cells located in the peripheral part of the bones, secreted the organic matrix, and then inorganic matrix or mineralized matrix, and finally interact in their matrix and differentiate to the osteocyte. At first, they form the woven bone or a spongy bone, that the collagen fibers and osteocytes are in different directions, and we can see lots of bony trabecula, and finally they arranged as compact bone in the peripheral part that have osteon, regular lamella, regular collagen type bone, regular osteocyte, and the spongy bone in the center with irregular direction of the collagen type bone. In this process, the osteocyte derived from the mesenchyme cell. named as intermembranous ossification. That's done in the bones of the skull, flat bones in the skull, in the clavicula, in the scapula. These bones differentiated in the embryo by intermembranous ossification. What is the intermembranous ossification? The osteocyte derived from the mesenchyme cells that occurred mostly in the embryo for development of the bones. Mesenchyme cells with fine cytoplasmic process, they form some trabecula of the bones, osteoblast, osteocyte in the lacuna, and finally we have some septum structures of the bones. Endochondral ossification. One cartilage completely transferred to the bone. This also occurred in the embryo. In the line bone location, situation as radius ulna, humerus bone, femoral bone. Yes, they are the line bone. The line bone have two heads as that named as the epiphysis, and one body that named the diaphysis. Before of the formation of the bone, at first one cartilaginous model formed in the embryo. Here show the finger. Yes, the bones of the fingers also are the long bone. A model of the cartilage as a long bone formed here. By the invading or invagination of the blood vessels, the outer part transferred to bony cells, to osteoblast and then osteoclast. And the vessels bring by themselves the monocyte. Monocyte dissolve the middle part, digest the middle part, because the monocyte differentiated to osteoclast. Yes, it's macrophage. The osteoclast is a type of the bone. Yes, the macrophage or osteoclast break down and dissolve the middle part, and bone marrow cavity form. And gradually, the chondrocyte replaced by osteocyte. And finally, one long bone formed in the embryo. Yes, in the embryonic period. In this process, in the endochondral ossification, one cartilaginous structures differentiate to one bone. The chondroblast trans-differentiated to the osteocyte. This process named as the endochondral ossification, that done in the long bones of the body, long and short bones. The other picture, one cartilage models, at first bone formation in the peripheral part, then bone marrow cavity formation, and gradually all part of the cartilage differentiate to the bones, except in two parts. The cartilage remain in the head of the bones. The blue color show the cartilage, named as the articular cartilage, involved in the articulation. Yes, and the other one here, named as the epiphyseal cartilage, growing plate, that involved in the growing of the bones, their length, and also our length, that have activity until the puberty. The cartilage remain in two parts. In the ends of the bones as articular cartilage, here and also here, between the epiphysis and diaphysis. That's named as the epiphyseal plate or metaphysis that increase the length of the bones. And here, cover the head of the bones involved in the joint structures, as here in cartilage. In the epiphyseal cartilage, between the diaphysis and epiphysis, there is I explain at first here, some area or zones that finally increase the length of the bones, and finally increase our length in the puberty and before of the puberty. Yes, now you memorize your length, yes?
How tall are you?
In the puberty, yes, immediately your length increase around maybe as a meter or some centimeter. Why? Because of the secretion of the testosterone in the male, progesterone in the female, that they have receptors in the epiphyseal plate, activated the chondrocyte for increasing their number, differentiation to osteocyte, increasing the bone formation, and finally increasing the length of their bone. In this area, there are 5 zones or 5 areas between the diaphysis and epiphysis and diaphysis. This plate, named as the gross plate, metaphysis plate, or epiphyseal plate. Zone of the reservation or resting. Chondrocytes are in resting phase. They are asleep without any activity. Then they start increasing their number. Proliferation zone. Chondrocyte rapidly proliferated. Increase their number and form a rows of the chondrocyte. In the third zone, the maturation zone of the chondrocyte. Maturation in the chondrocyte means production of the glycogen and the chondrocyte hypertrophied. Chondrocyte will be large, will be fatty, will be obese. And after the maturation, the chondrocyte mature or hypertrophied, accumulated the glycogen in the cytoplasm. And the matrix that is between arrow and the chondrocyte located in the lacuna. After that, the chondrocyte transferred to osteocyte. Osteoblast and osteocyte. Osteoblast start for the production of the mineralized matrix. Zone of the calcification. The cartilage matrix become calcified, transferred to the osteoblast, and finally the osteoblast differentiated to osteocyte, and the cartilage changed to the bone. That this occurred gradually and slowly in the epiphyseal plate, and the length gradually increased until the 22 in the woman and 25 in the man. And finally, this plate replaced by the bone in the adult person. For example, for mine is completely calcified, but in yours, I think they also activate. But after puberty, their proliferation is very slow. That increase the length maybe around after the puberty between the 5 to 10 centimeter. But before of it or in the cycle of the puberty, immediately increase the length. Resting zone under microscope, practical slide. Resting zone, proliferating zone. Increase the number of the chondrocyte. Maturation, the size of the chondrocyte increase, they hypertrophy. Gradually, the red color show the calcification. The mineralized matrix precipitate between the lacuna and also in the matrix, and finally they're calcified or ossified in the bones. That done in the epiphyseal plate for the growing of the bones. Any question, guys? And the last topic is about the joint. Joint is a part that two bones connected together that are different types. That most general of them are the movable joint in the finger, in the hand, in the wrist, in the elbow, in the shoulder, yes, or other part. Structurally, joint divided in three types in our body based on their microscopic structures. The first one are fibrous joint. These joints are immotile. They don't have any movement. The bones join together by connective tissue, by collagen fibers. Fibrous means collagen fibers. The second one, cartilaginous joint. The bones join together by the cartilage. Hyaline cartilage or fibrocartilage. Also, they are immovable or have a slightly movement. And finally, the synovial joint or movable joint that are more generally, and the joint have movement. Fibrous joint or immovable joint or also thin arthrosis joint have different types. The first one, the bones join together by connective tissue, collagen fibers or bone. In the skull, the bones suture or join together. In the neonate, before the 3 to 6 months after birth, the skull bones join together by dense connective tissue, by collagen fibers. Gradually, they replaced by bone. In us, yes, the bones join together very rigid by the bones, as you see here. By the bone, named as the synostosis. They are completely immovable in us, in the adult person. Some parts, two bones join together by connective tissue, by collagen type 1, dense connective tissue. Here, there are two bones, as radius ulna. They join together, between of them there is a membrane, as this, named as the fibrous joint, another type. And also here in the leg, between the fibula and tibia. Fibrous joint. The bones join together by cartilage, thoracic cavity. Here, the ribs join to the sternum by a type of the hyaline cartilage. Is a cartilaginous joint. They are also is immovable or slightly movement. In the vertebral column, the vertebra join together by intervertebral disc. That is a type of the fibrous cartilage. collagen type 1 that join the vertebra together. Is a fibrous joint or synchondrosis? Yes? Don't need to memorize these names, yes? But should know the structures of them. I mean, for example, one of the question that is the which type of where is the structures of the joint that connected together by fibrocartilage, or where are them? Yes, where are them fibrocartilage joint in the intervertebral column, where the hyaline cartilaginous joint between the ribs and the sternum. And finally, the more abundant cartilage in the body named as synovial joint. Also named as movable joint or de-arthrosis joint. In this joint, two bones as long bone, finger, elbow, shoulder, yes? There are two bones joined together that between of these two bones there is a cavity that named as the articular cavity or synovial cavity. This cavity. One bone, another bone joined together, and between of them there is a cavity. This joint have different structures named as the movable or de-arthrosis. This cavity lying in the head of the bones by articular cartilage. Is a type of hyaline cartilage, but have one exception to other cartilage. Don't have precondium. The hyaline cartilage in other parts sheeted by the precondium. But here, this articular cartilage don't have any precondium. Cover the head of the bones. The other parts of the synovial cavity or articular cavity lined by the synovial membrane is a type of connective tissue that sheeted the other part of the articular cavity, included one type of the cells that named the synovicites, that they produce a liquid, a fluid that named as the synovial fluid. It's around 1 milliliter in the some joints, such as knee or also in the hip, that are the biggest one. Synovial fluid that increase the friction, and the movement of the bones is without any pain, yes, in the movement of the joint. In the outer part, there are lots of collagen fibers that lie in directions as dense irregular connective tissue that named as the ligaments. Fibrous capsule in the outermost part, that now more about them in the anatomy, that are type of the ligaments. ligaments are the type of dense connective tissue, regular or irregular one.
Doctor, that's 1 centimeter or millimeter?
1 centimeter,
Three.
yes. Yes, the synovial joint have a capsule that sheeted the external part of the joint, included the collagen type 1 that formed the ligaments, included the synovial fluid that its component is similar to the plasma of the blood. Yes, the joint cavity lined by the specialized synovial membrane. Synovial membrane that produce the synovial fluid, that this fluid fill this cavity. The bone head is lined by the articular cartilage. And the synovial membrane included synovicite cells that produce the synovial fluid. And in the outermost, we can see the joint capsule that is a type of the collagen fibers. Collagen fibers have pink color by hematoxylin and eosin, but here they done the special staining that we can see here as blue color. The synovial cells are two types. The synovicite, yes, are two types, A and B1. The A1, you are the group A, yes? Yes. Sorry again. Yes, the A1, you act as a phagocyte, eat debris or anything. And the group B, or the synovicite B, yes, act as a secretory cell. They secreted the synovial fluid in the cartilage. That by the hematoxylin and eosin staining, we cannot identify them. They don't have any differences. But by the immunohistochemistry or spatial staining, we can identify them. Well, this is the briefly of the joint and fish. Tomorrow I send the PDF of the tomorrow lectures to Dr. Ahmad.